Welcome everyone to another episode of the Black Woman in HR podcast. My name is Adaise Okoje. I'm the founder and CEO of BWHR. And today I have the beautiful and amazing Alisha Parchment. She's based in Birmingham, Birmingham?
Yes, Birmingham.
Birmingham. I'm super excited to be interviewing Alisha today because not just meeting with her today, but I've just realized she has been supporting the BWHR community since 2019. It's always amazing to meet our supporters from when back I actually didn't even know what my vision was or what I wanted to create for this community, but to see her smile, to see how she's somewhat benefited from the community, which I'm going to delve into later as part of our conversation. But she's young and I'm super proud of her, and she's achieved so much in HR. And I can't wait for everyone today to hear all her insights and knowledge, and please follow her. But before I begin and delve into the questions, let's us hear a little bit about who Alisha is. She is an HR professional, a mentor. You need to come on to the Black Women HR.
I know.
Career advisor and founder of HR Talks with Lish. She has accumulated over 600,000 views across all social media platforms. You need to tell me your secret, girl, because we're still under 20,000. And also she has impacted and inspired over 7,500 people to own their HR career journey and walk in confidence. I think I need some advice from you if you impacted 7,500. She has more than 3 years of experience. I wouldn't say 3. I'll say you have a wealth of experience working in the software and technology sector, currently as an HR business partner. Alisha is passionate about helping the next generation of aspiring HR professionals to thrive in their careers. In a current job market, getting into the industry can be difficult to navigate. Alisha has created services and resources on social media, including YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Would I call you a Gen Z? Are you a Gen?
I am a Gen Z.
Yes. Oh my God, a Gen Z. I love a Gen Z. Okay, so your insight will be so different. And I have been trying to track the younger generation. So maybe we're going to start with you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Gen Z, everyone, Gen Z in the house. So, Alisha supports HR students and professionals to obtain interviews, develop within the corporate environment, and believe in the possibilities of becoming an expert and leader within the HR field. What an amazing introduction for just having such a short time in HR. And I love your passion. I've had 10 minutes. Anyone listening, I've had some minutes before we started this recording, and she's an amazing Gen Z, but enough from me. So let's start about your journey. How did you get into HR?
Well, thank you so much, Adisi, for the introduction. And I cannot wait to dive into this conversation today. So how did I get into HR? So I would say that when I've always had, since I was young, I've always had like I've always wanted to help people. I've always wanted to help people. So that's always been within my nature. I've always supported people in like a career development fashion from an early age, right up until when I went to university. I studied psychology at first in my undergrad degree. And at that point, I didn't really know what I wanted to get into. I was thinking potentially law, because with that profession, that also has an aspect of supporting and helping others. So I thought maybe that would fit me. But after doing a bit of exploration, I came across HR in my final year when I chose one of my modules. And I thought, you know what, this actually aligns with who I am as an individual, because I did the research within it, because before I had no idea what HR meant. And I feel like this is like a lot of young individuals. It's like, oh, what is HR? Like, some people are like, oh, it's you're hiring people or you're firing people. What does that mean? Sometimes there's negative connotations around it. But for me, I did that deep dive when I was doing my studies in that module, and it just intrigued me to try and understand how can I be impactful in this profession and allow people to see how great a profession it can be. So from that module, I decided to do a master's degree in HR. And when I did that degree, I really fell in love with L&D, organizational psychology. I really liked the employment law aspect of things. Um, and it was just great to learn about it, because when I thought about it, to be honest, when I come across and hear other people's stories moving into HR, a lot of people fell into it, but I actually I didn't fall into it. I actually wanted to do it. So I feel like I'm building
Same
well,
here.
I'm
I studied personal management. I'm one trick pony, so we're just very
right.
similar.
Right. Okay, great. No, so that's the thing. For me, I want to show people who may potentially have an interest in the field that, it's possible to work your way towards getting into HR and become that. So, yeah, from doing my master's degree, I decided, I really want to get my experience in HR. And that's when I came across an internship opportunity, because at the time, when I was looking for grad roles, it was very difficult to obtain one at that point, and I just wanted to get my foot in the door. And I said to myself, Alisha, we know what you want to be in the future. I knew I wanted to be like a HR leader at some point, and I can get there. It's just, I might have to start as an intern, but that's fine because I'm going to work my way up, which is exactly what has happened. And in the process of all this, I created HR Talks with Leash in the pandemic of April 2020, because I said to myself, want to um I want to be the change. I want to be the person that you can see how the journey looks like from the start right to when I hopefully one day become like an actual leader, which I already think I am, but like have the title. So I wanted to create that for individuals so they can see that it's possible, they can see the start, and they can follow through. So yeah, fast forward to now, I am a HR business partner, and I am, to be honest, I've progressed quite quickly when I think about it, because I started as an intern in September 2020, and I became a business partner in November of 2022. So it's been a fast progression, but I think there's a lot of things that I share on my YouTube and I share on my socials that has helped me to get to that. So I'm just trying to continue to spread the word.
Thank you. I wouldn't say your career is fast. I think it's just right, because I think we sometimes we think about this our career has been stagnant. For someone like me, my career was stagnant. I think it's because we're Black women. We think we should go at a slower pace when
Mm,
people of a different heritage, HR directors just 5 years into the career, or
that's
less than
true.
10 years
Yeah.
into the career. So well done, well done,
Thank
well
you.
done
Thank you
you.
very
So
much.
you did touch on HR Talks a little bit, but
Yes.
for someone listening and thinking, what exactly is HR Talks and what can I benefit from HR Talks?
hmm Okay, so HR Talks with Leash is a community that first started on YouTube, which I created to support anyone who was aspiring to be in the HR profession, or any current HR professionals to be able to expand and grow on their HR career journeys. So the type of content that I create is content that allows you to understand what HR is, understand the different aspects of HR, but also what does a day in the life of a HR intern, a HR administrator, a HR business partner actually look like. I also share tips regarding the CIPD. So, getting that qualification and how to utilize the CIPD profession map and the framework in your HR career to support you with your development. So it's mainly the community is there to support others in building and growing in their HR career. And due to that, I got many questions in comments and also on in my Instagram DMs, TikTok, on Alisha, can you support me and help me with actually getting into the HR field in some way? So that's actually now led to me providing services within CV writing, interview coaching and guidance, and also having HR career chats as well. So I support anyone who is thinking of transitioning into HR, how do you look at your transferable skills from your previous experiences, and how can you embed that into your CV now to show that you are capable of working in HR? Because a lot of people find that very difficult. And I would say everything that I share is based off my own experiences. So even with the transferable skill side of things, before I was in HR, I was in customer service a lot of the time. So I didn't have any HR experience, and I was thinking, okay, how am I going to get into this? Yes, I'm doing my degree, but how can I showcase from my past experiences how this can benefit this organization that I'm going into? So I like to show people how to connect the dots, in that sense, show that it's possible. A lot of my clients leave our meetings like, Alisha, I didn't realize that I have experiences that relate to HR when you put it like that. So yeah, that's what it is essentially, a big community that is continuously growing to support HR professionals.
Fantastic. Before I'm going to remind you at the end, so but what's your YouTube name and your TikTok handle for anyone that who's just listen to this small bit and they may not watch the rest, but they want to
Okay.
follow HR Talks. Can you just tell us
Yeah, so it is
how can I find you?
HR Talks with Leash everywhere. That's
HR Talk
literally
Foolish. Oh,
YouTube,
fantastic.
TikTok,
Okay,
Instagram. Just
okay.
type that
I
in.
love your passion. Just remind
Yeah.
me. I was going to say remind me a little bit about myself, but I'm not going to say that. So we're in the month of March, which is
Yes, we
Women's
are.
Month and also International Women's Month. How do you think we can promote and inspire inclusion using HR as a tool, as you have rightly spoken about career growth so eloquently?
Thank you. So I would say there is quite a few aspects of HR that we really need to focus in on more to promote diversity and inclusion. And one of them I would say is definitely the onboarding processes. Like we need to ensure that when you're coming into an organization, the culture is explained fully at the outset, because I think that it's important that individuals know what kind of experiences are they going to be able to experience when in the organization when it comes to diverse practices. What can we be involved in? And I think that culture side of things, especially when you've got like new starters and things, that allows you to understand how open an environment is. So for example, I actually, in my organization, was part of a podcast episode on being Black in the corporate workplace and what my experiences are. And I was able to kind of open up in that and talk about how, I felt sometimes in some of these spaces where I was the only Black person in the room. And, sometimes it can be difficult to navigate yourself in those spaces. But how do I then try to be more confident in those spaces? I've got to, you know, leverage off my kind of my experiences and say, you know what, like I know that I'm confident enough. I know that I do my job and I do it well. So in that sense, I know I should be in this room. So it's about kind of having that confidence as well, and having those open environments to be able to speak up. So I feel like that's definitely one aspect of it. And I'd also say like recruitment practices and things like how are we diversifying our pools? How are we ensuring that we are looking for a range of talent? When talent are coming into our companies, how are we ensuring that you're able to seek certain opportunities within leadership? So with, for example, women, is there opportunities for me to be able to develop my leadership skills as a Black woman? Do I feel like I've got that space to be able to do that? But if I don't, how can that be incorporated more? So I feel like there's still a lot to do regarding creating more open spaces for women. But yeah, I feel like HR is we have influence on it. So,
You can go on.
all right, okay.
Are you finished?
I mean, I was I guess there's a bit more that I could say.
Oh, go on, please.
Yeah, sure. Okay, cool. So I feel as well, when it comes to like programs, like training and development programs to support diversity inclusion initiatives, it can't just be a one-off thing. I feel like this needs to be a continuous progress in order for us to be able to understand fully how can I be supportive in terms of in a diverse way and an inclusive way in these environments. Um, how can I offer support? How can I offer guidance? How can I, if I've got certain unconscious biases, how do I help myself to learn more about what that is and be more open to hearing other people's opinions. So I feel like it's important to kind of encourage that kind of practice on a
Okay.
continuous basis.
So
But
much,
yeah,
so much, so much, so I don't want to keep saying Gen Z because I'm going to sound age biased. I'm just going to say I'm so proud of you.
oh,
So
thank you.
we're looking at, we're talking about career growth. And so I'm going to go into that more because we talked about you had so much to talk about in your career growth. So how do you think we should go about this in terms of should we talk about the psychological safety part about that leading from the inclusion in terms of how can we be more authentic as Black HR professionals in terms of navigating, deciding, okay, fine, this job is not doing me any good. I need to pivot, or I don't have the confidence, that growth aspect. I'm the only Black person in the room. I deserve that promotion, but it's not happening for me. What can I do? So a little
Yeah,
bit more, is that it's like being safe, the belonging, to just go a little bit deeper.
deeper into that. Yeah, sure. So I do think it's important to have mentorship, and I know that you provide, mentorship, but I honestly feel like having somebody who's potentially been in a similar situation to you in the past who can support you through potentially pivoting or understanding how to navigate certain conversations when it comes to trying to get a promotion is crucial in your development, because it allows you to see a perspective from somebody else who's potentially been in your shoes before, and they can help you navigate and understand, like, okay, what is your goals then? Like, where do you see yourself in your ultimate vision, and why is this not working at the moment for you? So I feel like mentorship is definitely important, but also I would say sponsorship as well. So having sponsors, and if no one understands what I'm saying in terms of sponsors, I mean people having talking about you in different rooms and you're not in those rooms, having those individuals either in your organization or also outside of work who might be able to speak for you in, if they're at a networking event, they're like, oh, I know this individual who might be amazing for this particular opportunity. That's also going to support you as well, I would definitely say. But I also think that it's important that you within yourself understand like what your values are, what are your kind of strengths as well, what do you feel like, do you know what, I might need to develop a little bit more in terms of this skill to support you with any kind of move, or if it's a thing where you don't want to necessarily move but you want to develop your confidence in these spaces as, the only Black woman in a certain space, how do you then understand what steps you need to take to be able to build up on that confidence to allow you to kind of progress and grow in that space. And I know it's difficult because, when you are the only person in a room, sometimes you're kind of like, oh, well, how are they perceiving me? How are they, if I say something, how are they reacting to that? So I think it's about building your confidence in that area. And I think Black women in HR, especially, actually, is a good platform to be involved in to help you with that, because you're going to have individuals who are potentially in similar situations to you. And I can speak from experience, actually, because this is why I followed you at the start of my journey, because I was able to see and connect with people who are in similar spaces to me and have similar experiences as well. It's nice to feel that like heard when you've got other people in the same kind of space who you can relate to as well, and see, oh, how do you go about that? So you're able to kind of ask questions within a community. And this is why I think it's important to build, this needs to continue to build up, and we need to have more spaces like this. to support us with it, because it's not easy, and it's so, it's hard to sometimes you feel like you're in it yourself, like it's just you and you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. So yeah, I definitely think leverage on your community, get yourself some mentorship, and try and gain sponsors. And with that, I guess that also comes with visibility as well. So making connections, networking with individuals that can help you to either pivot or become more confident in the space that you're in.
Fantastic. I would say the world of work does not stay clear away of challenges. We all
Oh
have
yeah, there's
challenges
always
in our work
challenges.
life. I've had mine, Michelle, and I've had I've been able to lean on to some of my colleagues. I've been able to lean on to my mentors. I have a variety of mentors and sponsors. And yeah, I'm grateful for that. But as a Black woman in the earlier stages of her career and a Gen Z, and someone that has an HR Talks, someone that is giving all this wealth of advice to all these amazing people that have helped to accelerate their own career growth, can you talk about how did you break some of your own barriers and biases as being Black and being accomplished? And how
Yeah,
have you achieved some of your goals?
yeah, for sure. So I would definitely say that I've actually struggled with imposter syndrome, to be quite honest, for a long time. So my confidence, even though it might look like I'm quite a confident person, I'm energetic, and I'm passionate, that hasn't always been the case. So I guess as a Black woman, sometimes being confident, um, I guess being confident all the time, actually, it can be seen as you need to be confident all the time in these spaces to be able to grow and develop. But sometimes there's going to be times where you're not always there, you're not always going to be confident, but within yourself, you need to believe that it's well, I would say for myself anyway, I'm trying to believe within my internal self that I am enough, and it's okay. I don't need to think about like um the outside individuals on the outside. I really need to be content within myself, to be able to do the things that I do. So I try to, I think with that, it comes self-reflection. I believe that it's important to really deep dive into, what your values are, what the impact is that you want to try and make, to be able to then um, kind of break these barriers and become successful, because it all starts with you. I think everything is within you, at the end of the day. So yeah, I've battled with imposter syndrome. I've battled with the confidence thing, and I've battled with like believing in myself a lot of the time. But again, I think it comes back to what I was saying before when it comes to community, sponsorship, mentorship, and also family, individuals that are around you that can support you and lift you up. Because all of these things that I mentioned, if you don't have, sometimes if you don't have the support network, it can be really hard to continue going. Like I could have gave up ages ago, to be quite honest. But I feel like having a very supportive network has helped me to get to where I am today, and helped me to continue to fight battles even when I feel challenged. I feel like sometimes as well, I've been in situations where I've headed up certain projects at work and things like that. And there was times where I felt like I didn't get the buy-in that others was getting, to be honest. And that's been difficult sometimes to deal with and handle, because it's like, okay, do I have to continuously prove myself, again and again and again, just to get the right support and the right buy-in for certain initiatives? And yeah, I think that can be a bit tricky to navigate. And you know what, some of these things I'm still dealing with, because I'm still at this early stages of my career. I'm still trying to develop. Still trying to understand how can I um, make my impacts, even though sometimes I find it hard to get the right buying for things. And I think again, it comes down to, I would say I'm very resilient. So I'm always trying to, if something hits me and knocks me down, it's like, okay, I need to get back up, and I have to go 10 times harder just to try and get myself to be seen in certain areas, which I don't think we should have to do all the time, but I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah.
something I'm still having to, like, I'm seeing
Well,
that I
I
still
think
have
I
to do.
always tell people we're human beings.
Yeah,
We have emotions. I know sometimes people say black people, from how we've been seeing over the years, we should be able to deal with pain. You know, the black woman is strong. The black
yeah,
woman
yeah.
doesn't fail. The love should be tough. Work should be tough. Everything should be hard for us. So yeah, we're giving us so many insights. So thank you so much. So my next question is more of a personal one, because I just found out Alicia attended our first conference in 2021, and she actually paid for it. She didn't go for one of the freebies. So for anyone who has never attended a BWHR conference, or anyone that is still looking to attend our conference, we're going to have one this year. It's on the 26th of September. You have a free invite. And
Thank you.
we're still going to start promoting it soon, because we have so many events coming up. I don't want to distract from the event that come before that, before September. Just a little bit of feedback, just for me to feel a little bit happy about my hard
Yeah,
work.
sure.
Tell me how you found the events. How have you
Well,
found being a supporter since the beginning of BWHL? Just give me some feedback. Just
yeah, no, for
be
sure, for
extremely
sure.
generous.
I will no, I will be because that's how I should be because it's been an amazing platform to be a part of since 2019. So yeah, I think when I first came across Black women in HR, it was before I even set up HR Talks with Leash. So when I saw this, I was like, oh my gosh, like a community of Black women in HR. This is me. This is what I'm looking for. Like I want to be able to build connections. I really can't wait to see how this is going to progress. So it has been amazing to be part of a community where you are able to look at and see like-minded individuals and professionals who are sharing their experiences. And I think when I joined the conference in 2021, the reason why I joined that conference is because I don't think I'd at that point been to a conference which was dedicated to, uplifting Black women in HR and being able to provide the resources, the community, the networking in the way that Black women in HR did. So when it was a great experience, I was actually so happy that I was a part of it, even if it was virtually, because I still felt very connected. Because I remember there was breakout rooms, so I've still to this day I'm connected to some individuals that I was discussing and talking to in those breakout rooms, and they were talking about their journeys and how they developed in their sectors and spaces. So for me at that time, as an intern, because I was an intern at that time, that was great for me because I'm always someone who wants to see like how can this be me in the future. I want to see myself. And I saw myself in so many of those individuals. And then the sessions that went on as well, the sessions were so inspiring. And I took away the slides, the notes from a lot of those sessions, and I thought about how could I implement some of these strategies and initiatives that they were mentioning into my own workplace, because there was projects that I was involved in, especially from a diversity, inclusion, and belonging sense, and I was like, this is amazing. With this knowledge sharing, how can I feed this back into my organization and create more inclusive spaces there? So I think this this network is the kind of network that we need. And I'm so happy that it's growing in the way that it is. I've also been, I don't know if you know, but on your Instagram, I always get, when I've put content out, the content is shared on your page. So whoever's owning the Instagram, yeah, thank you for the shout outs. It's amazing because it's like you're helping other individuals in the profession who are also building communities to be seen. And that's what it's all about, sharing, having that community, having that sense of, those bonds is it's important. So I absolutely love Black women in HR. I'm so happy that I'm a part of the community, even though I've been quite silent in the background. It's been amazing to be part of it. And I honestly do feel definitely after today, 100%, I'm going to be a mentor. 100%, I'm happy to be involved. So yeah, can't wait for the
And
conference
you love.
in September.
Then
Yeah, I
you eat
hope
some
that's
love. So
generous
thank
enough.
you.
Like, honestly, it's from the heart. So
No, no, no. Thank you so much. That's been really, really great. It's been amazing to have you here, and I'm happy to have met you in person, and hopefully I'll meet you in person again in a new year, and hopefully you get more involved in Black women HR community. But my final thing, can you give me one advice to anyone who is either, so you can choose either
okay.
stuck in her career as maybe similar some years in, or who is thinking is HR for me? What can they do different?
So I'll go with if you have been stuck, if you're stuck in your career, what can you do? So I would say if you're stuck, I honestly feel like it's important to self-reflect, and don't jump into anything like right now. Actually, just deep dive and think about what is it that you value, what is impactful to you, like what kind of impact do you want to make, and think about the different areas in HR and what resonates with you more, because you might not have done that exploration. I can even speak from experience because I feel like I need to pivot into the L&D space. I've been a generalist for quite some time now, and I was like, is this the right path for me? But then I did some self-reflection, and it's actually taken some time, to be honest, to come to this point over the last year. But always reevaluating my goals, always looking at what projects do I really like doing at work at the moment, what makes me want to get up in the morning. Think about that. That's going to help you to make your next decision and move. And just to let you know as well, it's not going to happen. Things don't happen overnight. Like, it does take time to really understand what's next for you. And even if you pivot and it's not right for you, that's always going to be a learning curve. It's a lesson. You will learn from every experience you go through. So that's what I would say.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So for anyone trying to connect with you again, is talk to Leash.
HR Talks with Leash on
HR
all platforms.
Toxilish.
Yeah.
HR Toxilish. So HR Toxilish. I know we're following you, and I know we share your podcast and everything else. So well done. So again, Alisha Parchment, it's been amazing to have you. Thank you so much for giving me your time, giving the community your knowledge and your insights and everything you have to share about Career Talks. Until we meet again, if you're watching today, please subscribe to our YouTube. We're not yet on podcast, but subscribe, follow us on all our Black Women HRs social media, sign up to our newsletter on the website for job opportunities, knowledge sharing, and everything else. And thank you for staying till the end, if you actually stayed to the end, because I personally enjoyed the conversation. So thank you so much,
Thank you. Thank
Alisha.
you. This has been amazing. Thank you so much.